to talk Georgia because the Dogs are closing in on a couple more big targets before signing day. But first, Steve, let's get the latest on number one quarterback Jared Curtis.
Pretty status quo from last week's update, Josh. We still await word of if Clark Lee is going to sign an extension at Vanderbilt. That is the big piece of information still out there in the Jared Curtis sweepstakes. If Clark Lee does extend with Vanderbilt, he will do so under the circumstances of believing that he will have the resources for Vanderbilt to compete for SEC titles and national titles. That's his vision for his alma mater. And Jared Curtis wants to play right away. That is the trump card that Vanderbilt has in this recruitment, is the better opportunity to play in year one with Diego Pavia, Heisman candidate, exhausting his eligibility after the season. With all of that being said, Jared Curtis and his family continue to reiterate to Georgia staffers, Georgia commits that they're good and that he will sign with the Bulldogs on December 3rd. But I believe if Clark Lee extends at Vanderbilt, it is truly game on in the recruitment for Jared Curtis. And I very much would lean towards him flipping to the Commodores if Clark Lee does extend with the local program.
So what are you hearing in terms of an extension? We only have a week until signing day. So is this something that could come before the weekend? Could it come on signing day where they announce the extension and the flip?
Well, that's more our colleague Pete Nakos, Chris Lowe and company's lane. I just, hearing from people around the Curtis camp last week, they didn't feel like anything was close to Coach Lee getting a deal done with Vanderbilt. We'll see what a new week brings, what another big win over the weekend, blowing out Kentucky and looking like a team that can really do some damage in the college football playoff this year does in the negotiation process of keeping Clark Lee in Nashville. Because again, Clark Lee's at his alma mater. He loves it. He's left it obviously much better than where he found it, but he is a competitor that wants to win at the highest level. He wants to do, you see Texas Tech, Joey McGuire, the resurgence in Lubbock. He sees Vanderbilt as a program with the resources that they offer a student athlete as one that can compete at the highest level. But in modern college football, you need the support, you need the resources. So if he extends, it's not just about what they did for Clark Lee. It's what are they going to do with this for this football program, which then I also think resonates with Jared Curtis and his family.
All right. So what about from the Georgia side of things? What are your sources saying in terms of, one, his contact with the Georgia staff? Is there anything shaky going on there? And two, his contact, because he's been committed to the Dogs for a while, his contact with other recruits on that UGA list.
Yeah, Saturday night, Sunday morning, all good on the Curtis front as far as his communication and what he is saying to the Georgia staff and his fellow commits. So confidence around Georgia is that he'll sign, but everybody understands what recruiting is and takes nothing for granted.
Sure. All right. We'll just keep watching this Jared Curtis situation. But Dog fans, let us know how you guys feeling. Are you concerned at all? What do you think? Put it in the comment section below. Dogs added a flip target on Sunday to their commit list. Linebacker Elijah Littlejohn commits to Georgia. He was a Penn State commitment, and they wanted to add another linebacker. They got him. They want to add a couple more players too. Who right now is Georgia trending for in the 2026 cycle?
Yeah, Rivals 300 offensive lineman Tyreek Jemison back in Athens for a second straight weekend. Georgia trending heavy for him and his commitment. And four-star safety Blake Stewart. Georgia is rising in his recruitment. Miami looked like the favorite when he decommitted from Clemson earlier this fall. He, too, has been the Georgia the last couple weekends. His family's very comfortable with the Bulldogs, their track record of development, particularly in the secondary proximity. Georgia checking a lot of boxes. Chad Simmons and I put a Rivals prediction machine forecast in favor of UGA coming into the weekend visit. But we both know Miami is not going to go away down the stretch. Vandy and Georgia Tech swinging as well.
All right. Well, if we weren't talking Jared Curtis at the beginning of this segment, we probably would have led with this. A major prediction. You dropped a big one on Sunday for number one running back Kaman Spell, and it's not to the programs we originally thought, or I originally thought. Tell us about this pick for Georgia.
Well, when he decommitted from Penn State earlier this season, it was Notre Dame that had the momentum. His relationship with Coach Jawan Sider, Notre Dame's style of play. Jeremiah Love is a Heisman candidate, the Doak Walker Award-winning front runner for this season. And he had a great visit to Notre Dame shortly after for the USC game. But this visit to Georgia was a major needle mover. Athens, the program, what he saw, the intel is favoring the Bulldogs. A source said momentum is with UGA right now. So my prediction reflects that.